Hello, how goes it?
Goes well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, can't complain.
Excellent. So,
Yeah.
I have I've pulled up the set that we'll be going over, but before we do that, I just wanted to go over your answers to some
Okay,
of the questionnaire. So, first
cool.
thing I would say is congratulations on understanding that, yeah, a win condition is a checkmate position. A lot of times people give me some some very, very lovely steps on how to win neutral, but we don't have a whole lot in terms of like what actual game state we are building towards. So,
Right.
with this in mind, I'd actually say that like I want to be even more specific than what you have here, because what you have is
Okay.
fantastic, but I feel like we are the step right before what I would consider the win condition. So,
Okay.
with that in mind, let's use Fox as our example. What do you think about that spot that we created? What about this spot that we're creating?
Um, I think. Hmm. I
Because
mean,
to
in my
me,
mind. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I'd say like, do you think this is like? Would you say this game state is a win condition?
Um, I don't think so. I think Fox has too many options. I think he can still reliably like play a mix-up and live.
So you think that like
Um,
Fox, when Fox can only up B? So I'm talking about this spot.
okay. Yeah, okay. I think this can be considered a win condition spot in my mind.
Okay, why is
Um,
that?
because he's run out of resources, and if I can successfully like convert on the edge guard, he will die 100% of the time as long as I pick
Yeah.
the right option here, which can be hard. I mean, considering it's low percent and he's up being close to the stage, which makes it infinitely difficult. But
It does
as
it?
long,
Does it?
I
Like,
mean,
so like, what's difficult about this in your mind?
the coverage of his angles, because he can ride the wall, he can kind of do that angle he's doing right there where he goes up and at you, and then he can go straight up. Um, I think covering all of those at one time is pretty difficult. I think because of that, it's like, I don't know. I guess like maybe I'm overthinking it, but
No, okay, don't be like, don't change your opinions just because I have a different one. I need to know
no,
what
that's
you
fair.
think.
Right. Um. Yeah. I like still like okay. I still think it is difficult to cover all those, and when he has no jump, and he's firefoxing at that point, I still think it is like considered a win condition. It's just he has enough options to make it difficult for me to like successfully complete the win condition, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Um,
Yeah,
so
he is the best character in the game.
right. For many reasons, and this being one of them.
But I think we can agree that like heck, like, we'll make this. We can agree that this is still like good for like this is still very much like the check position for Marth, if not
Yes.
even if not necessarily the checkmate position.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because it's like you're right. It is hard to cover it all, but we can do it. It's like we totally can like get him here. It's just hard.
Right. Yeah.
Whee! Okay, cool. So I would say that like yeah, as long as we can agree that Fox below the stage without his jump is like a win condition, then yeah, we're gonna get along just fine on that one.
Yeah.
Or like Fox having to commit like his jump and his recovery special to like make it back. Like those are really the two big ones that we're looking for against this guy.
I agree.
Cool. So with that in mind, what about other matchups? Like what would you say is one that comes up versus like versus say like Peach or Luigi?
Ooh. Hmm. I think I would struggle to define a win condition against those characters. I don't
Really?
know, because like, it's like it. Not that they obviously don't exist. I think it's just like the win conditions for fastballers in my mind are like almost feel natural and just like very easy for me to recognize. I mean, like for Peach in general, I struggle to like get consistent like kills or know, I guess, where my check spots are.
Maybe it's less about a specific spot and more about a condition.
Fair enough.
Like maybe maybe above us without any of her resources.
Right. Yeah, I guess.
Because the hell does she do?
Right. She struggles to get down, and then she just eats a juggle. Maybe I'm focusing in too much on the point of like being able to definitively kill her out of it instead of like putting her in a spot where she should die. If that like makes sense.
Absolutely
like,
makes sense. Keep going.
It's like that's why I think it's so easy to see in the Spaceys as opposed to Peach, because like you're right. All right, so if Peach is above me, has none of her resources, and I'm juggling her, that's great. I can push her off stage, and then I feel like that kind of just comes into a rinse and repeat, or at least I struggle to find the perfect answer, because like if she like guesses on whether or not I'm gonna forward air off stage or like commit to another up air, then her DI might be just enough to get her to parasol high up and like play a difficult mix-up where she all of a sudden has fastball and, you know, fastball out of her parasol. So
let me get you my definition of it, because I think that like this will help you understand where I'm coming from here. Okay. Because like I think that like like everything you're saying makes perfect sense, and I feel like we just need a bit like, because I think that this will help. I think this will help you. Let me just find where I put it. 1 second.
Cool.
Where is it? Why can I never find my things? Why am I so disorganized?
I feel that.
It's probably here in definition. Ah, dang it. Okay, no, I know where it should be. Okay, so a win condition is a position characterized by the accrual of advantage past a tipping point. Usually it's a game state that we play for, and it's once this tipping point is crossed, the opponent really doesn't have anything that interacts with it doesn't have anything that directly contests or interacts with what we're doing. They have to kind of find a way to resolve the situation they're in somehow, but they don't have a direct way to fight it. So they basically just have to play the thing that we've given them. So a really good example of that, the example I cite is Luigi versus Marth on FD, when Luigi doesn't have his jump anymore and is above Marth. Because he doesn't really have a way to actually fight Marth out of that. And you can see how this is similar to like the Fox off stage example, in that we have put him in a position where he no longer really has recovery mix-ups, in the sense that like he can mix up how he recovers, but he does not have an alternative to recovering a specific way.
Right. Okay. So in my mind, this is kind of going down the route of we're putting them in a position where the only way they make it out is if we mess up.
Yes, they have to.
Is that okay?
Yeah, their counterplay is hope and pray.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay, perfect. So like, what would be versus Sheik? This would be like the rinse and repeat edgeguard versus Captain Falcon. This would be him off stage in a rinse and repeat. Although we generally want to avoid this because of his weight. Usually we're trying to like kind of like do more off stage pushes and stuff, or like 2-piece combos that like checkmate him. But same idea, really. Versus the Spacey, same as Falcon. We don't really want to rinse and repeat them, partially because we can't, because of their like complete lack of lag on their up B. But like you can see how like the structure of different win conditions flows out of like the characters' tools and how their defenses work.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, I love working with good players. Now, last thing I want to go over is the Puff number pad. So I'm curious, did you consult any resources for this one? If no, that's totally fine. It's not asked of you, and I actually prefer you don't, but I'm just curious.
No, that was completely off the dome.
Okay, so I want to show you something.
Okay.
Would you say this hits 7, 8, 9?
No, I wouldn't.
It's really just 8, isn't it? Like,
yeah, actually, I was going to argue for 9, but I can see that being just 8.
Well, I mean, like, it's there for a frame. I don't really know if it's...
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Fair enough.
You know what? Let me show you a move that I would consider hitting 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, is this kind of clear?
Yep. I get it now.
Okay, let me show you one last move that I would consider hitting 9.
Yep.
Yeah, because, like, this obviously hits 9.
Right.
Interestingly enough, I would not actually consider his up air hitting 9. Because if we look at the hitbox, like, kinda, it's really more on, like, the 4, though. Or, like, it's really, or, like, the 6, I guess. It's really more on, like, 6, kind of on 9, but then, like, the bulk of its hitbox is really, like, above and behind him. So I actually think it covers 7 better.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you.
Cool. Why do you think I have... So, like, knowing that, what would you say are her scariest squares in order?
Me. Kind of visualize this real quick. Where she's facing.
Yeah, 4 is her... Like, 4 is her back air. 6 is her fair.
Yeah, I would say... honestly... 4, 8, and 6 are her scariest, in my opinion. I think.
No, that's... No, wait, is that your final answer, or are you going to add anything?
I'm just trying to think, because, like, Dare is scary to get hit by, but only in such specific instances that I don't know if I would deem it one of her scariest spots, so I don't know if
Well, the question... The original question is oppressive. So, like, what blocks are oppressive?
Okay, then I'm gonna lock in 4, 8, and 6.
I love it when people get this question right. It feels like it's always a good omen. There are no wrong answers except for this one.
Beautiful. Let's go.
I'm kidding. This is what, like I said, this is diagnostic. But like, so something I want to ask you openly. Mm-hmm. So what is that? Why do I have this question? What does this question tell us about how we should be fighting Jigglypuff?
It tells us about like the spots where like we are able to attack her and the spots that we absolutely want to avoid being like, I don't know, I like scrapping it, I suppose. They're just the spots where she is going to be at her best.
Right. Let's look at this random match versus Zane versus Hungrybox just for 10 seconds. Or like just for this first stock, it's 45 seconds. And I want you to tell me like where Zane is generally positioning himself in relation to Hungrybox and where Hungrybox is trying to be.
Okay.
So how would you describe the spots that Zane is attacking from?
He's usually attacking from like that number 9 spot. Like he's kind of going up above at an angle at Puff because like her bear can't really hit that.
Yeah, like he's using the platforms a lot.
Yeah. Like he plays the ground sometimes, but definitely rides those platforms more than anything.
Yeah. So, like, and what do we, like, let's keep going. So what else do we notice about when he's in advantage state? Like, when he's got Hungrybox, like, once he gets us something started on Juan. Okay, Juan, cooperate, damn it! Okay, but actually, no, this is a good example. So what is Juan trying to do?
He
wants him on, like, what?
He wants him in, like, that, like, he wants him below him. He wants him below him where he's able to come down, like, with that 6 or that 4 spot.
Yeah.
So.
Like that.
Right.
So, like, this is telling us exactly how these characters operate against each other in their fight situations. Zane needs to be, like, Zane needs to be playing in the 1, 2, 3, which is why he's staying under him when he's, like, or getting very, very under him in the, like, when he's in advantage. Hungrybox is then responding to that by trying to, like, line up his 4 or 6. Zane is then, like, responding to that by, like, playing the diagonals. Like, the diagonal on the 7 or the 9. But, like, everything is structured around Hungrybox trying to use his character's many jumps and, like, high drift to, like, create positions where he can fall into Zane. Like, that Nair is a perfect example of attacking on, like, the 3. See what I mean?
Right.
Like, everything just boils down to, like, Zane wants to be below or attacking from an angle above. Hungrybox wants to use his, like, greater quantity of mobility tools. and like his superior drift, like even though Jigglypuff doesn't have many tools, the tools she has are quite good. So like this is the entire challenge of the matchup. It's like Hungrybox Jigglypuff is tasked with lining up for 8 or 6. Marth is tasked with not letting her do that and capitalizing on her attempts to line up a 4 or 6 by moving into a diagonal and vice versa. Or moving under her if she tries to like stuff him out of the 7 or 9. That's the entire dynamic, and we can see that here. Every single character that fights Jigglypuff does this, by the way, at high level.
Okay.
Because you cannot beat Jigglypuff going punch for punch. She, like, rest kills you too fast. So what's the solution? You win more neutral. This is how you do it.
Right.
Yeah. So, with that out of the way, let's talk you versus Falcon.
Yippee. So, just to preface, I got around to watching the set once, but I got very busy with cat sitting over the weekend and then work, so I was unable to like really intently look at it. But it is fresh in my mind.
Okay, so talk to me. So what's the plan here? Like Falcon, what in your mind? What are the Marth Falcon do's and don'ts?
So in my mind, I am trying to like almost get him to commit to wanting to hit me with something like Nair or like a scooping up air. Like,
yeah,
I try to play like like the certain range where I sit there and crouch if I think he's gonna come at me. So like I'm looking to like CC grab a lot of his stuff. Otherwise, I'm trying to wall him out with fairs and nairs so that way I could knock him down. And once I get really comfortable, like a big don't of the beginning of the match is throwing out forward smash, but once I have a real feel for how the Falcon likes to play, a big do of the match is forward smash because I like to play the tech chase game.
Okay. So baiting. So basically, we've got baiting elements. We've got like not create knockdowns. These all make sense. So one thing I'm curious about is talk to me about like how we plan to win, because this F smash, like I love how you do your punish here. This is great. Love this. Talk to me about this F smash.
So let's see.
Yeah, we can replay
I knew from this fair, I was like, all right, well, he's going to be in a position because he's at a low enough percent where I can follow up pretty instantaneously with something. I don't think I was expecting for him to be so close to me when I did the F smash, but I was like, all right, my goal is to push him off stage regardless. I want to, like, I know he has no resources, and he's not going to go high enough to the point where he can, like, down B out of this F smash. So he would be forced to up B.
Yep,
but,
which is
yeah,
true.
So the F smash was definitely just a way to, like, quickly push him off stage, knowing that he couldn't really do much.
Okay, that makes sense. My question. So what I'd question here is this the best? Do you think this is the best move for the job?
No. I think honestly, I could have pushed off stage with like another fair, and then if I was lucky and he DI'd wrong, set up for a Ken combo. But
so what is DIing right here?
DIing right would be probably doing no DI or DI out if he's expecting that fair. But I mean, DIing in was the answer for my forward smash.
Okay.
So
I want to point something out to you. So let's say that Falcon DI. So Falcon's at 71. So when he's hit by the first fair. So like, or sorry, when he's at, this is soft fair, so he would be here. He DIs this in, I believe. Yeah, so he DIs this like this. So then on the second fair, let's say we do the same fair. Let's just say we do another one. Combo snapping on. So what does DI down and away look like?
It's definitely going to push him a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So like, here's the thing. There's kind of like, if he DIs neutrally, i.e. he doesn't DI, this is where he goes. Do you think he can make it back if you hog the edge from there?
No.
So he has to hold in to not die to that. But if he holds in, then what do? You spike him or up B him or fair him again.
Yeah.
So like this is to me. So what I would point out is if you fair him here, there is no good DI for him. All of them kill him because because it's a stronger follow through. Falcons. So this is actually a pretty cool concept that we can use to our advantage. So Falcon is heavy. I know, shocking, controversial, but there's a reason I'm bringing this up. So one of the things about heavy characters, like Samus, Ganondorf, is that they tend to be pretty resistant to sideways kill moves. This seems like super obvious, but like what this means is that like when they don't have a jump, one of the defenses that most like when somebody doesn't have a jump, one of the defenses they're likely to employ is to simply hold in. Because they need to, like, they can't afford to get hit far away with, like, a powerful move. If they do, they just die, so they hold in. But this is where it's something that, especially with heavy characters, that I would be looking to capitalize on harder. Because, like, if you fair him here, there's nothing he can do.
Right.
Because, like, his weight works against him here. His weight and in Falcon's case, his high gravity work against him. And it keeps you in a more actionable, controlled position, too. Because, like, think about how this would work versus Samus or Ganondorf, right? Like, you F-smashing, you're in lag. You're, like, you're in a lot of lag relative to how much lag you'd have if you faired them, right? So, like, they suddenly have a little more actionability to work with, whereas from your end, like, what can you do? You are now actionable, so, like, you're ready to get into position for the next hit. And then you can just cover what they do next. And it's just, you stay so much more fluid overall.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not terribly insightful to say, like, fair recovering opponent. Okay, he nunned you. It's okay. It's happened to me. It's happened to everyone.
Of course.
Yeah, so one thing I'm noticing... Okay, so I do want to say, it looks like your percent awareness is pretty good. Like, I haven't seen you fare below, like, 23-ish, which is, like, I believe when Falcon is knocked over. I'm curious about what spacing you think you want versus Falcon. So, like, where do you think you will generally want to be against to this guy?
Spacing is a little difficult. The concept of spacing I have is kind of like... There's one area that I like to play in, and I've referred to it as like kind of like a Goldilocks zone, where, like I mentioned earlier, where I like to play that CC grab his aerials game. There is an area where if he were to like full drift at me and stomp, it would whiff if I CC, right, or if I crouch. And if he pulls forward or like undershoots, his stomp would also whiff. So there's like this particular range where I kind of like tunnel vision on, because
it's like here. It's like where you're pushed back to, sort of. Like
yes.
It's like this distance. If he's standing here, you're here. It's here.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. That's the anti-Falcon zone. Yep. Makes sense. So the reason for that is exactly as you described. It is because in that spot, what you have going on is he can only hit you with Nair, but he has to drift forward with Nair to do it, which sucks. So because of that, he has to hit you. It's basically he has to hit you with a falling aerial. So then you're able to like intercept him with like Nairs. You can crouch cancel stuff. Like you've got a lot going on in that spot that's very good for you. This all makes sense. Now, one thing I want to kind of comment on is there's more spots than that you can play versus Falcon. Like you have more going on than just that spot. Can you think like with what you know about about these two characters? Do you want to take a guess as to what any of those one of those positions might be?
Yeah, I think playing on top of Falcon might not be the worst idea in the world.
I would consider you on top of Falcon if you're in the Goldilocks zone.
Oh, okay.
Because you're already pretty close to him. Like you're able to hit him with your aerials and your like down tilt and stuff in that spot because you have more range than him. So I would still I would already consider you on top of him in that context.
Okay. I'm trying to think because like playing a far range, playing away from him, like doesn't always work out too well. Simply because, in my experience, he ends up outspeeding me, and then, just throwing himself at me across stage. And if I commit to a jump too early, trying to read him jumping at me, then I just kind of blow up.
So talk to me about this dash dance, because like this dash dance I feel is like this dash dance that we have going on here is like kind of like in that like further zone. Is it because you feel comfortable because of the side platform over you?
Yeah, it's a mixture of, so yeah, that's why I pick FOD, because of the platforms messing up his approaches. But I am trying to also get him to do that nair at me, so that way he can hit me while I'm holding down, and like maybe he'll feel a little safer in throwing that nair out at me, which, you know, against good players like None isn't necessarily, in my opinion, the greatest way to think, because they should be aware of that. But yeah, generally speaking, doing that quick back and forth with a little bit more emphasis or length on the backhand.
What if we attacked?
Because of the platform.
What if we attacked in those spots, though? Like, what if we just, like, put out our nair or something, or, like, did a fair and then, like, moved somewhere, right? Because I'm thinking that, like, if he rushes at us and, like, crashes into our hitbox, we're fine, and, like, we're Marth. So, like, our attacks are pretty quick. There's, like, we could just, like, I'm not saying we want to, like, spam attacks there, but, you know, like, just putting something out. Because I feel like the big thing here is, like, we're not really so many of the solutions you cited are just like basically some kind of like counter hit, but like there's not really much in the proactive family, you know. There's not much in the undershoot family, and I feel like the undershoots are one of the big things we want to be doing versus Falcon, because on the triangle, one of his strengths is overshooting.
Right. Yeah, I
see what I mean. Like here, like this situation to me looks so awkward because we're just constantly backing up. Like, what if we like put out what if after this nair we put out a fair or another nair? Like that just clears this, right?
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. I think I have such a fear of like misspacing versus Falcon. I feel like a lot of the times I end up trading with Falcon or his aerials beating mine, so I'm doing them at incorrect timings or spacings, but because of that, it kind of creates this fear where I'm like, all right, if my aerial whiffed, I'm gonna move backwards because I'm sure he's gonna try and hit me now that I've done an aerial.
Yeah,
I feel a lot of
it creates a self-fulfilling prophecy too, I think, because like if you're afraid to do your aerials in general, you're going to be doing them at fewer timings because you're not going to be as bold with them. So like then it kind of like gets you doing all but the most like conservative aerials, which aren't really, but then like which means that you're not getting punished, but it also means you're missing out on the opportunity to capitalize, and that's a real problem.
Right.
Like here, so like let's talk about this. So here you have Falcon above you. So like you go for this nair. This doesn't work because he's above you. So like maybe we just need to recognize these spots and do different things. Like what would you do instead here, looking back at this?
I think I would have the idea of waiting and up tilting, or if I feel like I gotta push, I would throw out an up air. Although at this percent,
why up tilt?
Would be up tilt because if he jumps and comes down, all right. So if I do an instant up tilt from this position and he chooses to jump, there's probably a pretty decent chance it whiffs and he comes down with a stop.
Yeah,
and
like
I
this.
blow up. Yeah.
That's why I don't like the up tilt.
Right. Yeah, I think the up tilt only works.
But I didn't ask why it works. I asked why the up tilt.
Right. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So,
is it the reward? Is it that it knocks over at 0? So like, is that the tips one knocks over at like 0? So then it pops him up for a sit combo.
It would, yeah. It's the reward. It's the reward and the amount of area that it covers that initially makes me think, oh, up tilt's a good idea here.
So are you facing forward with this or facing away?
I am face.
Like, do you turn around for this up tilt?
Oh, I would turn around for the up tilt. Yeah.
Okay, so you cover like this.
So I would turn to face him.
So you cover like this. I'm gonna suggest something a little different. I think we need to stop thinking about these things in terms of reward, in terms of like what gives us the most reward, and think about like what gives us the best balance of reward and safety.
Okay.
So my concern with the up tilt is that he has to play into our up tilt in order for it to work, which means that there is inherently some risk on it because he could simply not play into it.
True.
Because, like, here's the thing. If he just stands here, like, we are Marth, but he is a Falcon above Marth, so this is him. It is, I think, perfectly reasonable for him to just take the position of, I don't want to go into Marth when he is in his power position. Like, when Marth, like, disjoint, like, air to air and air to ground don't have a clanking system, so everything is just, like, whatever hitbox makes contact first. With a hurt box. So Marth is extremely powerful in these kinds of positions because he has the most disjointed range. This is just a thing about him. Lots of other characters who are also really good at using this are Falcon and Sheik, because they also, on their hands and feet, don't really have hurt boxes on their actual hands or feet. It's all on their legs. So like they have kind of like what I affectionately call knife sword, like leg swords, or like hand daggers. It's like, and you can see it on their fairs and like back airs and stuff. It's super obvious, but like, what I would say here is it does not make I feel like he's very iffy about whether or not he actually wants to go in or not. He wants you to do something because if he goes in and you go in, he is going to lose. So with that in mind, if I do anything here, I want to apply pressure. If I'm going to apply pressure here, I want to do it in a way where I'm covering him doing nothing, because it's very likely he wants to do nothing here. So, You're the pro Marth player. What would doing nothing but threatening him where he is look like? No, what would like covering doing nothing but still threatening like him coming in look like?
I think doing some kind of short hop fair. I think doing a fair with a little bit of drift going backwards, or I don't know, if he's doing nothing. If I'm trying to cover him doing nothing, maybe not drifting backwards, because maybe not
like
cover him
this.
doing nothing.
Like jump forward slightly kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I like this.
Right. Because then the fair covers him doing nothing. It will hit him. His option is to shield or magically hold down if he's like the greatest of all time.
Well, what does he hold down into? Like, what's the risk there? Because Falcon doesn't have good crouch cancel options. That's one of his weaknesses.
Well, in a position like this, I mean, what I can think of is if he, like, I just think holding down on a platform and getting CC is, like, the craziest thing in the world. But if he's able to pull it off, he might be able to do some kind of CC into runoff, like, instant up air to catch me in my fair lag. Especially if I decide to commit to, like...
Wouldn't we up tilt after?
No. Yeah, I guess we would.
Or F smash?
Like yeah, we could, yeah.
Because he has to move to then hit us. It's not like he can just hit us. That's my point.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I guess in my head, I was envisioning an instant fair instead of a late fair. So
yeah, I want to come down. I want to short hop in place and do a fair coming down like that, like where it covers where it covers like this area really well. And then, but if we see him jump, we can still just like push the button, you know?
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That all of a sudden. Yeah.
This looks like it looks crazy, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like we look like the most terrifying character in existence. The other cool thing the other thing that you could do that I think makes some amount of sense, and this will sound a little weird, but like, hear me out. Mm-hmm. Instant double jump nair.
Instant double jump nair. Okay.
Going forward.
Okay.
Like aggress him.
Okay.
Like, I don't think it's better than the fair, to be clear. I think it's, like, an interesting idea, but, like, the idea... How you can kind of see the vision, right? Like, we're kind of doing this. We're kind of doing this, and then kind of, like, going onto the platform where he is, so that we can kind of, like, auto-cancel onto it, sort of, with, like, the 2 hits... With the hit coming down. So then at that point, it's, like, he has to, like, make a... Like, if we get the jump, we might just kill him, because we might just be able to, like, nair again, down air kind of thing. Or, like... tip or F smash if he holds out. Like, we're basically just, like, really, really challenging him directly. With something that is... With a move that has a decent chunk of power on its second hit. because he has allowed us because he's chosen to play an air position.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting idea. I like that.
Yeah. So I think like the method here is probably more important than the actual play. I think we can agree on that. So what do you think are the things that like caused me to see these two plays? Like, what do you think? How do you think I landed on these?
Trying to think how we got here specifically, how you might have gotten here specifically. I guess taking into account just positioning overall percentage.
What are
I'm
our
saying very general thing.
Yeah. So I'll help you out. So yeah, position. So the position is that we have a character above us in some capacity. He is on the ground, but he is above us because he's on the platform. So what are our characters' strengths?
Well, our strengths are having pretty fast aerials that have extreme amounts of disjoint that allow us to cover these spaces really well, especially when our opponent is above us. So playing into that.
So what does that mean about what positions are strong for us because of that disjointed range and efficiency?
Whenever an opponent decides to jump above us, or if they put themselves on a platform.
Right. Where is he?
Well, he happens to be on a platform.
Yeah. How convenient. That is exactly it. He has and what are his strengths? What are his superpowers? Are any of them do any of them involve defense? Like, we probably wouldn't be able to get away with some of with the Nair thing on Peach. But or Sheik. But what about him? Like why wouldn't it work on them?
It wouldn't work on them. I suppose. Well, they have pretty good options out of CC. I mean, if they were to try and eat those hits, if they're on a platform above
godlike
us,
buttons, right? Like, they have godlike buttons, and they can just do whatever they want because of it.
Right, like, if I'm envisioning Peach here, I'm never nairing in this spot because I'm going to get down smashed.
Right, we would have to fair.
Yeah.
Exactly. Same thing with Sheik. Like, she would probably, she'd probably push a different button. She'd probably tilt us. Oh, we're at 0, so in this position, we could probably... Actually, no, she'd CC grab us. Yeah, but Falcon's grab isn't as big as Sheik's, is it? Certainly not without the dash start. And on top of that, he also doesn't have her, arsenal of buttons as backup, does he?
No.
Okay, well, there you go. So, we are preying on a defensively weak character for being weak defensively.
Right.
Because he doesn't really use the side platform. Being on the side platform is one of the most defensively powerful. Being under or over the side platform is one of the most defensively powerful positions in this game. Falcon doesn't really use it all that effectively because he just doesn't.
Right.
This was great. Oh, what are we doing? So talk me through this. Was this just was this just a movement error, or did you mean to grab it like that?
No, I meant to grab it like that.
Okay. So talk me through the plan here. This is clearly some kind of rinse and repeat. So what's the plan?
Honestly, to me, that ledge grab looks like I didn't really have much of a plan. It looked like that ledge grab, to me, says hope and pray something goes my way. I don't really think I put much thought into that ledge grab. I think this up air was my plan. I wanted to force him on stage and then
do some kind of
up.
Yeah, do some kind of combo that sets up another edge guard, basically, like a rinse and repeat.
Yes.
Okay, yep. Love it. So what do you think what do you think I'm gonna say is what do you think I'm gonna say about this?
I think you're gonna tell me that I had a pretty favorable position after that down tilt, and that the ledge grab was unnecessary, and that I could have pushed my advantage better there than trying to push my advantage here.
Yeah,
when
so
he gets back on stage.
Yeah, because this bait here was beautiful. So then it kind of upset. No, it's sad to me that we didn't get to capitalize on it harder. What do you think we could have done differently?
I think after that down tilt, I think a runoff fair would have been beautiful. I also think if I'm going to second guess myself on the runoff fair, I think just sitting there and doing like a late fair as he up-Bs up at the ledge could have been a good idea.
What if we ledge hop fared forward here?
Yeah, because I mean, if in this particular spot right here, that should reverse.
Yeah.
And then push him off stage.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That seems sneaky.
That's something that I don't really think of ever. What I think of, so like when I do this ledge grab, a lot of the times I'll think of just instantly letting go of the ledge and doing like a drop zone fair, which obviously wouldn't. I don't know if it would work in my favor here, but I don't think of that double jump forward drift fair to get the reverse hit too often. So,
yeah, but you can see how this would work. Because like we let go here, we double jump forward, we're still going forward. The other thing that you could do is like you could also still do the up air that you were doing, but you just hit him out of the air. So like it's the same play that you did, but like you're then continuing the combo when he doesn't have a jump.
Yeah.
Like my big there's a million ways you could checkmate him here, but my big concern is we did not play to deny his jump.
Right.
So like after this down tilt, I would say, like, one thing that you could do is, like, he's going to have to up-B, right? Mm-hmm. So what is a better way that we can set up this edge guard to accommodate the different things that he can do? Because, like, we know he has to up-B, so I do think that we want to move back a bit because we're too close to him right now. But where do we want to go?
I think, like... Alright, if I down tilt here, I think maybe doing a slight wave dash back would cover myself pretty well, like kind of towards the edge of the grass there. Like I don't want to go too far back, but I think going back far enough just to set up for like a tipper down tilt setup, which he could tech, but if I do the timing thing right, I could get the double down tilt.
So basically like here.
Yeah.
I love that, and I think that is a good idea. So basically the idea is we're going to go back here, and we can do the down tilt if he comes up with this up-B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. I have one suggestion as to how we might be able to make this a stronger play.
Cool.
Because my one thing there is, I feel like we are being slightly wasteful, and the wave dash is difficult to control. What if we short hopped? And then drifted back.
Yeah.
Because, like, you see what I mean, right? Like, because, like, let's look at where he up-Bs from. He up-Bs, like, from here. So I feel like if we wave dash back here, our down tilt, we're going to have to adjust again to cover this with down tilt.
Yes.
Because we have to come forward now. So he's making us do more stuff. But if we're short hopping, we can just see it and land in the right spot, or we can use the fair, or knowing that he's going to go above the stage because of where he's starting from, we could then also just fair him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's as soon as you mentioned the short hop, that's what went through my mind. I was like, all right, that opens up the idea of utilizing fair to cover this edge guard.
Yeah, so we can kind of like do this kind of motion as needed.
Yeah. No, I think
so like really the key here is we are trying a big thing with edge guarding is that it's about like understanding how like we want to have things on as few steps as possible. So like the more things we can do together, we want to, because that's really how you create good coverage. It seems kind of obvious, but like it is true. So this is like, so after this down tilt, it's like short hop back, and like short hop back, so down tilt, then short hop back, no, down tilt, then short hop back, then short hop back, because this is, as here, cannot recover without a B. We cannot make it without a B. So like I know that we talked about like what the things that we talked a lot about like broader concepts about that you wanted. I am trying to frame this as generally like in more general terms for that reason, but like I just wanted to temperature check because we have 15 minutes left, and you know, this is a good. I want to make sure we're course correcting it in case this is not the stuff you wanted. Is this type of stuff you wanted, and like are you learning as we're going?
Yes, I am absolutely learning as we're going. This is 100% in my vision of where I want it to be.
Perfect. Okay. And we're going to add a note as to why we do it. This down tilt, then short hop back. Because wave dash requires more steps. It requires responses for different up Bs. For his requires diff responses for diff up B. But the short hop is just adjustable.
Mm-hmm.
Short hop is adjustable. And this is like as a fun experiment, do you want to pop open a Zane VOD for just like 10 seconds? I think that you will find this like fascinating. Because if we look at him versus None from their recent thingamajiggy, from any of their recent thingamajiggies, I'm pretty sure we will see something that looks a little bit like what we're seeing here.
I would not be surprised.
We'll go to one of the games he wins. So Zane, okay, we'll just go to a clean stock. So what do we have here?
In general, or...
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking to the computer. I'm not talking to you. I'm just like, Zane, hurry up, damn it!
Gotcha. That's totally understandable.
There we go.
Look at that.
Oh my god, I'm a psychic. I should play the lottery. And you see how it covers everything. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Because, like, yeah. Also, that Nair to punish DIN is nasty. Like, look at that.
Sick.
So, like, a big move, I think, that, like, held back Marth in the Mewtwo King era is, like, the lack of Nair in application. Like, if you look at old Mewtwo King VODs, like, just for funsies, or, like, a Mewtwo King combo video, because it's probably more efficient, you'll notice that he doesn't really, like, use Nair as a DI-in, DI-out 50-50 the way that we do now. And to me, this is, like, one of the biggest things that held back Marth in that era. Because Marth's Nair is a nasty 50-50. Because it's got enough, it's like one of those moves where it's like, it has everything you want on that kind of, like, DI 50-50. Because it's efficient, and it has high starting power. So, like, in the conditions where they hold out when they're supposed to, a lot of times you can still get tech chases, or if they're near the edge, you still create decent edge guard positions. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's still not bad, even though it's not instant death, and that sucks, and it's unfair. It's kind of like his fair there. Like, you see how he does this here. So if None DIs, this is kind of like what I was talking about earlier, where, like, None doesn't have a good DI in this spot. Because if he holds out here, but Zane can still cover it. So it's just, there is no good DI. Yeah. There is no good DI there either. Like, these are the positions you're trying to create versus Falcon, because these are the ones where he's a dead man. So, yeah, let's make more of those.
Very down for that.
Hell yeah! This is what I'm talking about. So this is what I mean. So you go for this, like, you go for this up air. Why not Nair?
Yeah, I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know.
Or, like, fair forward, like double jump, or actually, know what? I think this is up B.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, he's DIing out.
Now, to be fair, you did the best fair that I've ever seen a Marth do versus Falcon Nair. So, like, you still got the kill. But, like, you could have gotten the kill without needing to do the best fair versus Falcon Nair ever.
Right. Right, exactly. There were easier steps to get there.
Exactly. Damn, this is almost a reverse 30? That's super... Dang, yeah. That's even more impressive, actually. So, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So, like, first and foremost, okay, we gotta be more familiar with our up throw stuff. So, like, did you know that this wouldn't work? Okay, that's the wrong question. Knowing that this doesn't work, what could we do instead? I agree with the up throw here, to be honest.
Yeah. I think up throw, this is going to sound weird, but just looking at it, F smash or down tilt.
Why on earth would F smash sound weird? He is Falcon near over the edge. Like, what?
The only reason it sounds...
Kill this man!
Like... You're right. Never mind, it doesn't sound weird. I'm just afraid of embracing my inner F smasher.
You know what? F smash is the best. Marth's F smash is the best F smash in the game. It is a disjointed move that has more range than any of Marth's standing normals. It's an anti-air, it's a kill move, it's an overshoot. It can be an undershoot if you really want it to be. Like, it is a phenomenal move. Like, why would we not do doing good moves is part of this game.
Oh, truthfully, in all seriousness, I agree with you. And I mean, there's a reason I relied on F Smash so much in, like, these last 3 games.
I mean, like, look at that. Look at this.
It's beautiful.
It's just boom.
Yup.
We played to our air-to-air advantage. Now, something I want to point out is that this is the other spacing that I would say that Marth is quite good in. So, like, at this spacing, what do we have going on here? So, the platform is obscuring things a little bit, but the thing that I would comment here is, so your sword is a disjoint and his leg is not.
Right.
So if we put out moves in this kind of, like, footsie zone, when you're both kind of, like, far from each other, your move will win if he comes in. So this is kind of the type of spot where I would say that doing moves more is probably worth considering. Okay. We don't want to spam them, but, like, you can totally see how doing, like, a nair or, like, a short hop fair here could actually work quite well. I would say that this is especially good if Falcon's in shield, but you're not close to him yet.
Okay.
Like, you can see how that would work, because, like, Falcon in this kind of spacing is, like, in this kind of, like, maybe he's not over there. Maybe Falcon's more, like, here, if he's in shield. But you see what I mean, right? Like, by us doing a move in this kind of zone, if Falcon doesn't move out of shield too, we just hit him. Yeah. Right. So I would say that this kind of like spacing, because our attacks beat his, like, this can be good. Like, if Falcon's here, no Falcon here. This can be like, no Falcon here, confined. Yeah, attacking, like, here, good. Attack.
Right.
Because, like, and if we think about the platform situation from earlier, this kind of conforms to that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
It's because it's because the main thing he has to defend with him in those positions are his moves, but our moves are better, so we just put our moves in the spots where his moves go. And if he doesn't bite, then we've just missed a fair, which is not the end of the world.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, we're learning that you don't necessarily have to hit people, like, you don't necessarily even have to hit people with your moves for them to be good.
Right.
Isn't that mind-blowing?
It's a beautiful thing.
Good. You're learning. I wonder if I have the nest thing that I made.
Oh boy, I would love to see the nest thing that you made.
It's like, I know where it is, it's on Nestcord, but, like, it's an example of, like, how you can aim your moves. Like, give me 1 second, I'm just gonna find it real quick. Resources. Where is, like, fair? God damn it. No. It would be Ganondorf. $2020. Okay, I cannot find it off the top of my head, so I will need to... Oh, wait, it's not looking in the right place. So, wait. Resources, and it would be Ganon. Ah, here we go. Got it. So, let me show you this. So, this is something I made when I was still playing NES. It's a demonstration of, like, how, like, we can aim at where the opponent's attacks are.
Right.
So, like, you can see, we're nowhere near Ganondorf with his body, but we are still hitting his hand, which is why we're winning that exchange. The same thing is happening. We can do the same thing in Marth Falcon in a very real way if we aim around him.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And unlike Ness, we do more than 3 damage.
True. We're a good character.
We do a whole... How dare you?
It has to be said.
Did it. Didn't really.
I mean, you know what?
It's okay. I'm playing Falco now. Like, it's I get it.
Fair enough.
Ah!
You switched to a fun character.
I switched to the only character more fragile than Ness.
Wow. You switched to the glass cannon.
Yeah, so let's talk about this edgeguard. So, edgeguarding 101. What did we learn from last time? Like, we're trying to well, actually no, this is a slightly different situation. So what are we trying to do here?
I am trying to both position myself to hopefully land a fair and also put pressure on him to kind of like drift towards the ledge. That's kind of what I wanted out of that jump. Which the
vision is there. This was a movement error. So like what do you think the movement error is?
I think the movement error is somewhere in that double jump of mine. It just looks like I gave up.
I think it's a fast fall.
Drift. Okay.
Like, why are we fast falling?
I don't know.
No, tell me.
That's beyond me.
But tell me why you think you're fast. Why you believe you're fast falling.
This is one of those. I mean,
So if you're not no worries. If you're not fast falling, what should you be doing? Or what do you believe? Mm-hmm.
My idea here is to be slightly drifting back, while like coming down with him, to threaten that fair.
Yeah. So you're like landing here basically, and you're landing a little later.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. So what if you see him pull back?
Then.
Like let's figure this out. So like what I would say here is, let's say we do this the way that we say that we're supposed to. So the difference in this situation is that instead of Marth being here, Marth is here. Right? Because this is where we want to land, roughly here?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So then, like, Falcon, we see Falcon. Falcon cleverly does not want to die, so he starts, like, leaning back. So he goes from, like, he's about this high, big, cool. So he starts moving to about here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he's, like, pulling back a little bit. So what do we do?
Well, if I'm already on the ground by the time he's pulling back, I want to run off fair. At least that's where my mind would go, is dash off fair.
That works. I have a slightly different suggestion.
Okay. I mean, could it perhaps be forward smash?
I mean, if he's holding away, if he's drifting back, what way is he holding?
He's holding out.
So where does his stock go?
Away. It blows up.
It explodes. Yeah, that seems like a problem for him.
Yeah. He's all of a sudden losing harder than he is.
Yeah. So like, I feel that your fair is better if he's holding in for the drift on his drift, or not, or like beginning to pull back. Like if he's drifting like this, I think your fair is perfect. I think your fair is absolutely the right answer. What we do is we probably like short hop it. We short hop it, like push, like we short hop it or fall with it depending on our alignment. Like if we're still in the air somehow from not like fast falling, then yeah, like we just do the alignment that way. If like we just do the fair in the air, but if we have to land, then yeah, we just short hop it and we're fine. Or we nair. Nair could also work here. Right. I think if he pulls away, then the good moves are actually. You know what? Now that I think about it, what do you think about? Does nair cover both?
Yeah, it can. As long as I drift forward a little bit, then it should cover the pullback.
Yeah, and then like it has pretty reasonable power on DI away, like on the pullback, right? Like if we check I key real quick, like I think we can kind of like, so this would be Fountain, we're hitting him around here, like we're hitting him around here-ish, and then this is Falcon here. What percent was he at? Like
about 31.
36. So 36. We'll put him at 39 because this will be like 2 hits of nair. So nair. Hit 2. This way. I mean, if he holds away, like And
Pretty much dead.
if he holds in, we can just chase him.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. Like, it's because he's because he's actually more inward, isn't he? Yeah, like, we're hitting him more, like, here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
there's a pretty good idea.
Now, it's not as... Now, I would say it is kind of like it's the middle ground option. Because, like, ultimately, doing this is, like, super good. But, actually, yeah... But I think that, like, I don't know. I think that fair is probably... I think that fair, if he holds in, is probably the play. I think that you could make a case that we just try to tip or F smash both of these.
Yeah, I think that's the best case scenario, truthfully. I think a tip or F smash would be everything we need in this instance.
If that's the case, then, like, we probably want to pull back even more than this, then, don't we? Like, we probably want our, like, ending position to be, like, slightly different. We actually want Marth to be, like, full pullback, like, almost full pullback, so he's, like, here. So then Marth can't so then Falcon can't possibly get through us.
Right.
So if that's the case, then yeah, like, we want to actually go even more.
I agree with that.
Because then we can do this and he explodes.
Right.
So, like, so I think that, like, the big thing here is, like, one thing I hope you're taking away is that, like, a lot of times our first idea is not always right, especially, like, in a game like this. When it comes to analysis, it sometimes takes even people like me a couple of times to get to, like, land on what we're supposed to be doing. That's okay, because, like, this is a very difficult game with a lot of moving parts. Like, but what I would say is that, like, we can agree, like, there's certain things I think we can agree on, like how this, like, I'm going to assume this was a technical error, like this, down air. Or maybe it wasn't, but, like, we can agree that there's certain... That fair was amazing off stage, by the way. Like, I think that what we're seeing here is that there's, like, certain things in your play. I think that it's really just, like, we need to be, like, pushing our advantage on the opponent's weaknesses harder. One of the big things that, like, has come up a bunch of times is just that, like, we have certain comfort plays that we're going for that I don't necessarily know that they're not usually, like, doing the most for us, but, like, that forward smash, I'd say, is a really good, is kind of like the opposite. It's probably a play you're comfortable with, but, like, the reason why this is so good is that he is teched, right? So, like, by him teching on the platform, he has locked himself out of doing another tech, which means that the raw power is just going to push Falcon off with slide off. If he rolls to the edge, same thing. If he rolls forward, same thing. The only play that this is bad against is him not teching the first time and then Amsa teching the next one. So, like, it's a very fringe case where this doesn't work. And, like, you have the right idea here as well. It's just, like, we don't drift forward enough.
Right.
So, like, one thing I would say about this kind of alignment is not being afraid to go off stage.
Yeah.
So, like, this one here is, like, doesn't work because we don't go off stage, and we don't allow him enough time to fall. But, like, you have, like, a lot of it really has, like, do you not like going off stage for edge guards? Like, is that, like, a thing, or am I?
No, I generally feel pretty comfortable about it. I think in situations like this, I like when Falcon is recovering high, I like to try and remain on stage. But yeah, typically I feel pretty comfortable going off stage.
Okay, so, like, I would say that there's an opportunity. So, like, the biggest opportunity I see in this kind of edge guard is for refining, for drifting during free fall. Because I think that this is, like, you're usually pretty good about this, but in the same way that that we fast fell and lost all of our drift in the previous thing we dug into, I think that, like, when you're in these air-to-air positions, for some reason, your drift, like, kind of, like, you, like, kind of, like, lose some of the some of your drift. And I don't know why. I think, do you use the C stick for your aerials, or do you use the A button, or, like, how do you do your moves?
C stick.
Okay, cool. So it's definitely not, like, an A button thing, which I didn't think, because I was seeing you do pullback fairs, so, like, that would make no sense. But I think that, like, more awareness of, like, our drift during these, like, edge guards would, like, and just making sure that we're still... We can't be prioritizing our preferences of, like, staying on stage over the needs of the situation, basically.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that I would say that that is like we're gonna. I would like to finish this match. I believe we're at time, but like we're a few minutes over. Don't worry about it. Let's finish this set, but while we're doing this, we'll do our takeaways while we're watching this.
Okay.
So what's something that you've learned today that like that you're excited to take into your play going forward, or that you're excited to work on?
I'm excited to just work on my awareness of picking my options better. Kind of just like understanding the space that I'm covering given a position I'm already playing. And just being smarter overall about my move choice and like how to better capitalize on the advantage that I've been given. That's kind of what I'm very excited to work on.
Yeah, so let's be more let's add specificity to that. So I'm going to call this attack choice opportunity to build a stronger awareness of the dynamics of your fight situations. And what I'm going to say is we want to be we want to understand we want to understand when we're in a strong position. And and we want to understand when we're in a strong position, and the opponent, and as such, the opponent is not likely to play into us, is not likely to directly play into us. In these kinds of spots, things like up tilt are less good. Things like up tilt bracket. If the opponent is not in free fall, tend to be weaker because they require the opponent generally to move into us for them to work. So then I would be capitalizing on these spots. On these spots. When we're in control, will involve applying pressure with will involve moves that work if the opponent does not act, does not move. That makes sense, right? Because we have like that Fountain of Dreams example. We can think about like how people are on top platform. Just anything like that, like it's not, we don't all, like even if we're in a strong position, like it's kind of like, yeah, so this would be, that fair was a good example, like the one you did over here. So like this, I think was really good. We just like, we just went too far forward. But but the reason the fair is good is because he's on a platform in a spot where he can't really do a whole lot to us. So covering his zone, it makes a lot of sense. Now you can make the case that maybe we don't want to cover that zone. Maybe we want to play on the ground. You can make that argument. There's like a lot of stuff that you can do on the ground over here, but that is still playing with that space because we're setting ourselves up to punish him for going over here or like falling through the platform. So like it's all about the heartbreaking. And then there's the last game.
Yep.
I will not make you relive Game 5. But let's add another thing for us. What's another thing you want to work on going forward?
Another thing going forward. I haven't thought this far ahead.
So let's think about the first one. So we have so we're talking about the dynamics of the fight situation. This is all to do with position. So it's when we're in a strong spot and the opponent's in a weak spot. We want to capitalize on these spots when we're in control. Capitalizing on these spots when we're in control involves moves and actions that work if the opponent does not move towards us. So like this would be covering the Falcon on the platform. This would be like dash dancing in that spot in case he like jumps past us or like falls through the platform. It's things like that. But like there's other weaknesses we've identified. There's other types of weaknesses we've identified. So like what would be an example of us attacking somebody's weakness? Like how, like, because we talk like what are the Let's think about the edge guard situation where we grab the edge too soon. What was something you learned from that is useful to you?
I learned that I'm taking too many steps. Like I'm complicating things in certain situations that are like making me commit to something that will only cover one or two options, as opposed to taking less steps and giving myself the freedom to really blow them up in a lot more scenarios.
Perfect. So let's say edge guarding refinement. One, and then I'm going to say consolidated opportunity to consolidate coverage onto one movement action that is more adjustable. That is more adjustable to the different to the different recoveries an opponent can take. So, e.g., common places where the places you'll find this. This will be short hops and run off double jump in place and run off double jump back / in place. As substitutes for wave dashing to set up ground moves. Wave dashing to set up ground moves, or grabbing the edge early. Because those are two big ones. What else could we throw in here? I'd say edge guarding refinement 2. The biggest one here is just drift. Opportunity to refine drift. We've noticed that there's a reluctance to go off stage with certain high cover stage when boxing out certain high recoveries. And when fast falling. Did you know that you can angle your fast falling?
Angle my fast falling.
Yeah, there's a range. So there's a range for fast falls. So let me see if I can. This will be the last thing we go over, because I think on the whole your gameplay looks pretty solid overall, which makes sense because you're good. But there's So okay, perfect. Let me get this to you. Copy. So ta-da. So you know how So this is the ledge options, right? But you'll notice the ledge drop in fast fall afterwards zone is bigger than just it's not just straight down. There's also a slanted area. So if you fast fall in that slanted area, guess what happens?
You fastball. You angle your fastball. So you're saying.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Got it.
Yeah, but is that something you think you do, even subconsciously? Because it looks straight down for the generally with when I'm watching you, but
no, my intentional fastballs, I try to go straight down.
Gotcha. So this can be another way that you can improve your micro game. This will also help you with spacing your fares.
Okay.
And I think attack placement. So I think the last one is attack placement. Yeah, versus we just have an opportunity to versus Falcon. We have a huge opportunity. Falcon, we spotted an opportunity to aim for to hit him for attempting to place attacks in anticipation of overshoots and and to hit him for attacking and hit his his limbs during his wall. Expand on this. Explore this idea. These ideas in other matchups. Especially the second, and see what sorts of opportunities appear. And see what sorts of opportunities become available as you get the hang of it. So that'll be your homework. There you go. And with that, I'm going to cut the clock.